Good afternoon. It is March 29th, 2022, and today we are looking at really just a range day. I would guess this is probably close to two legs up. It looks like we came up short, though. Let's put it right here. Yeah, we came up short. So really it's just a range day. It looks like we were trending strong in the overnight with a couple of really good entries around 5 o'clock, but then we reversed, couldn't make the lows, and at that point it felt like we were probably going to go higher. This I was thinking, oh, maybe this is the midline, but that wouldn't make sense. Let's see what this looks like if we drag the highs up here. That would kind of make sense. That makes the midline at the 4,600 mark, but I'll just leave the highs and lows where they were in the overnight. Let's see. So anyway, yeah, that looks like that could be valid too, but I'll just leave these highs at where they were. Just chopping around. This stuff was really hard. I came in during this stuff, and that was pretty hard to navigate, in my opinion. And then we shot up. I wasn't watching during that time, so let's take a look here. I'm going to delete these boxes too. Those were for my journal. So yeah, 5 o'clock comes right about here, 4:59 a.m. And that, I'm looking at that as a failed second entry. I'm looking at this as a double bottom, first entry, failed second entry short, right off that trend channel. Great signal bar. If you didn't go long there, you get a second entry long right here off the signal or off the trend channel. You could have just been done by 5:30 a.m. this morning. And I think this is like a 10-point runner if you just put your stop below each signal bar. And I mean, you could have just taken this and that would be a 16-point runner, and then you're done by 5:25. So that was a pretty good move. And then we just formed some congestion. Unfortunately, nothing looking too good in here. You might take this as like a double bottom, first failed second entry short right here. That looks pretty aggressive to me. I don't think you want to hop in on this. I mean, it kind of looks like double bottom, first failed second entry, but it just doesn't. It's just not clear. And look at all these dojis. I'd be worried about that. Then we fail to hit the top of this trend channel, and that leads to a break. First entry, you actually have a failed second entry long right here, but that wouldn't be off any trend channel I have, and that's a doji, and we've been trending up, so it looks like maybe they'll set up a trap to get a bunch of people going short, so I'm not going to mark that. Here you actually have a first, second entry short. After it comes right after the doji, though, this looks pretty good because of looks like it's a failed breakout. So I kind of like that. And it's also a second entry short. So that's definitely worth considering. Let's see, does this tick higher? Because if this ticked higher right here, that would be a really good trap, but it doesn't. And look, if you take this, you probably have a heart attack right here with all this overlap. So I just wouldn't take it because it feels like it's too early to go short after that nice move up. So we get that trend channel going, and we just get a break right here. So Your first entry, second entry doesn't set up. You might take this lower high, as a matter of fact. So let me mark that. It does close beneath the EMA, but I don't think I would have the courage to take that at that point because this trend has been up. The bias was up. We're not really sure where things are headed. This looks like a nice correction. You know, this trend channel didn't hold right there. So if you're patient, you get a nice setup for a failed second entry long. And I think that's a great trade right there. You are going into the lows, but it confirms this short-term trend channel. So I like this one better than this one. Even though this one's near the EMA, I just feel like I'd probably need more proof that we're going lower. But, you know, the more I'm looking at it, this is a lower high, and we are expecting a new low because this trend channel just was broken. And I would really expect prices to test this midline. So I don't know. This one, it's also an inside bar. So yeah, I'm going to leave that green. Sell off, pull back, come down here. This is a really nice correction. And so this is where I came in, and it did feel like this was going to be the end of the downtrend because we have a break, one leg, two legs down to a new low. This really nice leg of correction. So I went short on this bar, but I entered it with a limit order, and I think that's the only way you could do it. By the time this bar finishes, it's got so much stem. It is technically a second entry short. That's why I liked it. But I think you'd have to go on the engulfing bar, and that's very, very aggressive. But what I liked was double test. You can see. And if you didn't go there, you get a failure set up right here. And I like that. It closes outside of this trend channel and above the EMA. You might have lost your pants when it goes sideways a little bit, but I think maybe advanced people could take that. I mean, this looks like we're going to get, at this point, it looks like we should be looking for a measured leg of correction, which would take us to here at least. And so I like that entry. Then we come up here. Looks like we have a trend channel working. You get a first entry, failed second entry, and I mean, I just feel like this is a really good trap to the long side. This looks overdone. It also looks like it's off of a short-term trend channel. So something to consider. Decent amount of price rejection. But then we bounce off of this trend channel, and we already had confirmation of this trend channel here. So this is red because we have room to scalp out to the low end of that channel. If you didn't, I don't think that's a good move. But anyway, look, you get a slight overshoot. That leads to a break. And we get looks like 3 legs up to a new high. And then prices go sideways a little bit. Let's see, I marked this. So 625. Okay, so no, this would not have gotten you a scalp, but it looked pretty good. But I mean, look how congested it is. So really, you really should be sitting on your hands anyway. This is also a failure. This didn't set up though. And you come up here and you get when we rock it up like this through the EMA, you get a first entry, failed second entry. It doesn't trigger until here. I think you can take this. We'll see what Max says, but I think you can take this. Um, yeah, looks pretty good to me. Bounce off the opening price, and then we get this steep move down. You get a break. This is a first entry. Oh, wait, no, hold up. Let's see. First entry, failed second entry long. Only reason I'd be nervous about this because look at that support at that midline, and it doesn't look like you have room to scalp out. So I'd be a little hesitant to take that one. Then we're just flip-flopping, and eventually prices, I guess all the buyers realized we're not going down to the lows, so they just started buying. And all this is just too far from the EMA. You can see prices riding that midline right here. No setups though. This kind of looks like, it looks like this was a range, but then it looked like the lows shifted to like right here, which would make this kind of look like a failed break lower, but that's just, you're pushing it at that point. However, we get a second entry long right here off the trend channel. You're going into the highs is the problem. But if you don't like that, you get a failed second entry short right here. That's congestive. It's going into the highs, especially after this one didn't rock it up, which it probably should have. That should be a sign to be aware. And you can see that just gets you, this one barely gets you a scalp. So, and that's what I saw. So, hope everyone had a great day. Hope you came in early and got in on those two moves. Again, I probably won't be able to make a video tomorrow or Thursday. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But anyway, hope you guys had a great day. I'll be back soon.